You are listening to 600 Second Saga. Today's feature is A Hairy Situation by Marissa Laporte. Sarah was soaking up the sun at the beach when her legs began to itch. Didn't I shave well enough last night? Sarah thought. Well, this is embarrassing. Everyone will think I don't know what a razor looks like. She glanced over at her friend Beth to see if she'd taken notice of her cacti legs yet. Is everything all right? Beth asked. Oh yeah, I'll be all right. I must have just done a terrible job shaving my legs yesterday because it's already growing back in. See? Sarah held up her leg, and Beth began to run her hand from Sarah's calf to her knee. Yup, sandpaper Sarah, Beth snorted. She sounded like a hog when she tried to suppress a laugh. You'll never live that nickname down. Oh, Beth, dear, Sarah patted her on the head as if she were a child. At least I can shave off this hair. Too bad you can't shave off that snort. It's cute and you know it, Beth snorted again. Yes, I forgive you. Now let's get in the water and I'll pretend to be Nessie the sea creature with all this seaweed hanging off my legs. Sarah and Beth waded into the water hand in hand and buried their toes in the wet sand. One of our last days of summer, and pretty soon Starbucks will be selling pumpkin spice lattes. Not to mention we have to go back to class. College sucks, doesn't it? Beth asked. It would be much more enjoyable if I could show up to an 11 a.m. class in pajamas and not feel guilty about it. For example, why am I having social anxiety just because my legs are prickly? Let's not think about those things now, darling. Enjoy this lovely summer day with me. Let us wade into the water, and don't you dare ruin it with your pessimistic poppycock. Oh, my word. I do apologize for ruining your day with a dose of brutal reality, Sarah said. Beth snorted, let go of Sarah's hand, and waded further out into the water. Sarah followed, and once the water was deep enough, she leaned back, began to backstroke, and drifted through the sparkling water. She closed her eyes for a moment, but soon opened them because she felt itchy. Without thinking, Sarah reached up to itch her cheek. This motion resulted in her head dipping slightly under the water, and she came up spluttering. Sarah, you silly woman, what are you doing over there? Beth asked, snorting as she came over to help Sarah into an upright position. Ugh! Sarah grunted as she scratched her face with so much passion that little red lines from her nails popped up on her pale skin. I'm just so itchy. Am I having an allergic reaction or something? Hold on, let me take a look, Beth said. What the what? I think we should take you to a doctor or something. You have little black hairs poking through all over your face. Beth, this isn't funny. I think I'm having a reaction to the water or something. Be serious for a minute. No, Sarah, look at your arm hair. It's really, really long. Sarah looked down at her arms, and Beth was right. Her arm hair was so long that it was hanging off her arm like a wispy curtain. That's disgusting. Great. All right, let's get me wrapped up in a beach towel of shame and drive me to the frickin' veterinarian's office. Beth and Sarah made their way back to the shore, and Beth grabbed Sarah's towel and wrapped her up as if she were a caterpillar about to begin metamorphosis. Sarah was thankful that there weren't any mirrors in the little examination room that the clinic had placed her in. She didn't want to know what she looked like with a hairy face. Hypertrichosis? What's that, Doc? It's a pretty fancy word for a simple symptom of, I've got hair sprouting up everywhere, Sarah said. It's informally called werewolf syndrome, but don't worry, you won't have to stay in on nights of the full moon. It's extremely rare, but it can be brought on for many different reasons. Have you been taking any new medications lately, specifically for hair loss prevention? No, but my dad probably... Wait a minute. I think I mixed up the pill bottles on the counter and I might have been taking his medication instead of mine? Well, there's good news if that's the case. Your condition is most likely reversible if it was set on by hair loss prevention medication. Thanks, Doc. I'm glad to hear it. I'll be more careful when I pop pills in the morning. Sarah met Beth in the waiting room and gave her a thumbs up. Looks like my dad's hair loss problem was the reason why I'm turning into a hairball, Sarah said. Beth snorted and motioned for Sarah to step out of the waiting room toward the parking lot, because even the receptionist was staring at Sarah's extreme bad hair day. Don't worry, Beth. I'm not in any rush. Let them stare at me. It'll make a great story for them to tell over the dinner table tonight. Imagine the disbelief when they tell their families that they saw a real werewolf at their annual checkup just before the fall season is about to arrive. Okay, Sarah, we'll pick up some Scooby snacks on the way back to your house, because I want to see the look on your dad's face when he sees how much more successful you are at growing hair than he is. This was A Hairy Situation by Marissa Laporte. Marissa Laporte is a 19-year-old student currently attending Grand Valley State University. She recently returned from studying abroad in England. Laporte has been selected as a winner and finalist for many flash fiction and short story contests held on the writing website Figment.com, and she was the runner-up for the Letters About Literature contest held in Lansing, Michigan. Laporte has been recently published in The Hedge Apple of Hagerstown Community College, Serendipity of Badenoch Community College, Literative.com, and she will be published in the Flash Fiction Press in September. Music is provided by Mads. Learn more about 600 Second Saga, our authors, how to submit your flash fiction, and how to support the podcast in the show notes. This has been Mariah Avix and 600 Second Saga.